Carl Jung's analytical psychology was not just about understanding the unconscious. It was about living in alignment with one's inner truth. His work emphasized that psychological suffering often arises not just from trauma, but from chronic self-betrayal, from living inauthentically in order to fit into external structures. Jung believed that while adapting to society is necessary, over-adaptation leads to the loss of the self. If your job, relationship, or social environment demands that you consistently silence your instincts, ignore your values, or perform a version of yourself that feels artificial, this becomes a form of spiritual and psychological erosion. The most damaging thing in the life of an individual is to be forced into a role that is not his own. Staying in situations that constantly violate your inner reality is not maturity. It's quiet self-destruction. He warned us not to mistake peace for health. Many people maintain peace by avoiding conflict, by saying yes when they mean no, by swallowing emotions to preserve harmony. But Jung argued that unresolved internal conflict often manifests as depression, anxiety, or even physical illness. People will do anything, no matter how absurd, to avoid facing their own soul. If you're living a life that looks right but feels wrong, that incongruence will eventually surface, often in the form of psychological crisis. Don't accept the illusion of peace when your inner world is crying for change. Jung developed the concept of the persona, the mask we wear in public. It's necessary to some extent, but dangerous when mistaken for the real self. If your sense of identity becomes completely tied to how others see you, your title, image, performance, you lose access to your core. The privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are. If the environment only accepts you when you perform a version of yourself, that is not belonging. That is conditional approval, and it will cost you your vitality. He also emphasized the danger of relationships rooted in manipulation, guilt, or emotional coercion. Jung observed that power dynamics often masquerade as love. Where love rules, there is no will to power, and where power predominates, love is lacking. If someone demands your silence, compliance, or emotional labor in exchange for affection or stability, that's not love. That's control. Don't settle for psychological cages masked as connection. Jung's work on projection is crucial in understanding interpersonal boundaries. He taught that we often see in others what we have not accepted in ourselves, both good and bad. But he also warned about allowing others to project their unresolved issues onto us. If someone insists you're the source of their pain, shame, or anger without accountability, they are projecting. You do not need to accept the burden of someone else's shadow. You are not responsible for healing what they refuse to face. His teachings also speak to the danger of self-abandonment through overcompensation. When we try to earn worth by being overly helpful, compliant, or successful. Jung believed that the drive for constant achievement is often rooted in deep insecurity. Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you'll call it fate. If you're constantly driven by the need to prove your worth, stop and ask, to whom are you trying to prove it? Whose voice are you still trying to please or silence? Jung respected empathy, but he rejected martyrdom. Self-sacrifice may appear noble, but when it becomes chronic, it breeds resentment, fatigue, and loss of identity. You're not here to disappear for others. Healthy boundaries are not a betrayal. They're the foundation of a stable and integrated psyche. He also warned about the dangers of suppressing negative emotions. Anger, grief, envy, these are not bad, but signals from the psyche. Suppressing them does not lead to peace. It leads to inner disconnection. One does not become enlightened by imagining figures of light, but by making the darkness conscious. You must face your discomfort honestly. What you avoid rules you. What you confront integrates. Jung believed the path to wholeness, what he called individuation, requires us to withdraw projections, confront the shadow, and live with radical authenticity. That means leaving situations where you are not allowed to be real. That means stopping the performance. That means risking disapproval in order to stay true to your inner compass. Living consciously, for Jung, did not mean living comfortably. It meant living truthfully. You are not obligated to remain in roles, beliefs, or dynamics that suffocate your soul. Transformation does not come through comfort. It comes through truth. Even when truth hurts, it heals. Support our channel. Please subscribe for more content like this.